a touch that changed everything. The rain had stopped, but the streets of downtown still gleamed like mirrors under the amber glow of streetlights. Marcus Wellington stepped out of his black sedan, the weight of another endless day pressing down on his shoulders like a heavy coat. The towering glass building behind him reflected the city lights, each window a reminder of the empire he had built and the loneliness that came with it. At 35, Marcus had everything the world said he should want. His tech company had revolutionized how people connected across the globe. His name appeared on magazine covers. His bank account had more zeros than most people could imagine. Yet as he walked across the wet pavement, his expensive leather shoes clicking against the stone, he felt as empty as the dark office windows above. The evening air carried the fresh scent of rain and the distant hum of traffic. Marcus pulled his gray coat tighter around his suit, his dark hair slightly tousled from the wind. He had nowhere urgent to be, which was perhaps the saddest part of all. No family waiting at home. No warm kitchen filled with laughter. Just a penthouse apartment as cold and silent as his heart had become. He paused near the fountain in the plaza, watching the water catch the light. The weight of his latest business decision pressed against his chest. Tomorrow, he would have to let go of 200 employees. Good people. Families. But the numbers on his spreadsheets had spoken, and Marcus had learned long ago to listen only to logic, never to his heart. That's when he heard it. A small voice, clear as a bell in the evening air. "Excuse me, mister." Marcus turned, expecting to see another homeless person asking for change. Instead, he found himself looking down at a little girl. She couldn't have been more than 5 years old, with golden curls that caught the streetlight like spun silk. She wore a soft pink dress that had seen better days, and her small red shoes reflected the wet pavement beneath her feet. "Are you sad?" she asked, tilting her head to one side with the innocent curiosity that only children possess. Marcus blinked, caught off guard. He was used to board meetings, to negotiations, to conversations about profit margins and market shares. He was not used to genuine questions from small children with eyes as clear as spring water. What makes you think I'm sad?" he asked, crouching down to her level. Up close, he could see that her dress, while clean, had been mended in several places. Her shoes, though polished, were worn at the edges. The little girl stepped closer, unafraid. "My mommy says sad people walk with their heads down and their shoulders all bunched up. Like you." Marcus felt something shift in his chest. When was the last time someone had simply observed him? Really seen him? "What's your name, sweetheart?" "Emma," she said with a bright smile. "I'm waiting for my mommy. She cleans the big buildings at night so we can have our apartment." Emma pointed toward the office complex where Marcus worked. "She works really, really hard, but she always makes time to read me stories before bed." A knot formed in Marcus's throat. This child's mother was likely one of the cleaning staff he passed without thinking, invisible to him in his rush toward success. And tomorrow, because of his cost-cutting measures, her mother might lose her job. "My mommy says when people are sad, sometimes they just need someone to be kind to them," Emma continued. "She says kindness is like sunshine for hearts." Without warning, Emma reached out and took Marcus's large hand in her tiny one. Her skin was warm and soft, and the simple gesture sent a shock of emotion through him that he hadn't felt in years. It was such a small touch, yet it seemed to crack something open inside his chest. "Mommy needs a smile too," Emma said quietly, her big eyes looking up at him with pure trust. "She tries to hide when she's worried about money, but I can tell. She works so hard to take care of me. Maybe you could help." Marcus stared down at this small person who had somehow seen straight through his expensive suit and polished exterior to the lonely man beneath. Her mother worked in his building, worried about money, struggled to provide for this beautiful child who radiated nothing but love and hope. "Emma." A woman's voice called from across the plaza. A tired-looking woman in a cleaning uniform hurried toward them, her face filled with concern. "I'm so sorry, sir. I hope she wasn't bothering you." Marcus stood slowly, still holding Emma's hand. The woman's face was kind but worn, her eyes carrying the exhaustion of someone working multiple jobs to make ends meet. This was Sarah Chen, he realized. He had seen her name on the list of people to be let go. "She wasn't bothering me at all," Marcus said gently. "She was teaching me something important." Emma squeezed his hand one more time before letting go. Remember, she whispered, kindness is like sunshine. As mother and daughter walked away hand in hand, Emma skipping slightly despite her worn shoes, Marcus felt something he hadn't experienced in years. Purpose. Not the hollow satisfaction of a profitable quarter, but real purpose. He pulled out his phone and called his assistant. Janet, I need you to cancel tomorrow's board meeting. In that list of layoffs. Tear it up. We're going to find another way. The next morning, Marcus walked into his office building with his head held high and his shoulders relaxed. He smiled at the security guard, nodded to the maintenance staff, and for the first time in years, he really saw the people who made his world possible. On his desk, he placed a small card with Emma's words, kindness is like sunshine for hearts. From that day forward, every business decision would pass through that simple test. Not just what was profitable, but what was kind. A little girl's touch had changed everything. Sometimes the smallest hands carry the biggest truths.